or something, get
Yes.
caricatures done of us.
Exactly.
Little spinny hats and little go-karts and put
That's
that
exactly
as.
what we need.
That'd be perfect.
But for the meantime, I think our football jerseys will suffice.
That'll be fine. I've got football. I've got baseball. Well, that's all I got. I don't have any more than that.
I just have my football ones left.
I used to have.
Well, I do have my coaching jerseys for baseball. So
There you
work.
go.
You could even bring your suit in that you wear. One of them. Hang it up in the back, a different suit every week.
Kingpin, baby.
Well, whatever one you wear or you're gonna wear, you can. If you want to see what Christian's gonna wear this week, you have to tune in to Let's Talk Sports.
Did you see the new Daredevil yet?
I haven't.
Oh,
Did you see the news that came in though? 57% drop in people watching it. 57%.
That was the best season yet.
That's what I've heard.
It was the best season
people
yet.
are stopping, not watching anymore.
And Kingpin's suit was
I've seen that.
Dudley.
Yeah,
that white suit with the black shirt.
I did see it.
Oh, do I want that for the basketball season?
I'm sure somehow you'll get it.
I'm sure he'll find it. That is for sure. But
right.
we are wrapping up our last week of high school football coverage around the area as our game last night ended with a Cass City loss. Millington was our backup. They ended their season last night with a loss against Montrose, which has a ton of storylines attached to it, that's for sure. And then Frank Muth was victorious, but we'll get to all that in just a little bit. We'll start off with our game last night, though. I gave Chris the iPad, right? You got it? Okay, all right. I just want to make sure you got it. As it was New Lothrop starting things up, New Lothrop in the second quarter, and then New Lothrop all night long, basically, over there in New Lothrop as they completely took over that game and did not give up any breathing room at all for Cass City. Cass City did put up a respectable score on the scoreboard, but New Lothrop didn't play any starters really in the second half. I mean, they played some, but their quarterback, he finished out the first half and then sat out the second half.
Yeah, Avery Moore, their quarterback over there in New Lothrop, heck of a night. And you want to talk about a kid that's absolutely built, probably 6'1", 6'2", all of 190, especially 200 going through, and he's just a wrecking ball. I mean, he was lowering the shoulder last night and just running some kids over. But, I mean, New Lothrop's a legitimate team. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It only took them 3 plays to score, and it ended up happening right away when Avery Moore handed the ball off to Aiden Harrison, the D1 commit from Missouri. Yep, absolutely taking it.
He might not have the numbers, but he was impressive on the field. He was all over the place. He was athletic, quick. So I'm excited to see what he can do at the next level.
Absolutely, yeah. He ended up picking up 25 yards. Play after that was a 5-yard gain from Avery Moore running the ball to the right side. And just next play after that, Avery Moore hands off to Will Miron, and he runs that ball 38 yards in for a touchdown. And it just kept trickling away. The ensuing kickoff ended up being a turnover, fumbling it. Horn ended up, unfortunately, fumbling the ball away. And New Lothrop picked it up, obviously, in excellent territory. And it didn't take too much longer after that when they ended up finding the end zone once again as Avery Moore ended up taking it in from 10 yards out for another score. So, I mean, New Lothrop, we knew going in, obviously, has a very, very potent offense, and, their defense just turned up the notch even more against the Cass City Red Hawk squad that, going in, I'm sure Coach Cothrell, the game plan was to obviously run the ball, keep the ball, time management, clock management, keep the ball out of their hands as much as possible. And they started doing that a little bit, and then the penalties ended up hitting and pushed them back. They got over the 50-yard line, got over midfield their first series once they got the ball, and then got pushed back after that. And they didn't find midfield till almost
false starts, holdings,
third quarter.
The
holding penalty was one of them.
Yeah. New Lothrop was a very disciplined squad. The only thing we saw against them really was that pass interference call late in the game.
Yeah.
Where they kind of gave a bump to Nagley, but they were just very impressive. I got asked last night. It must have been hard to call your game. I'm like, watching Cass City, it was hard to see them lose, but to watch a team like that, you get impressed and you're like, man, this could be a legit team. Moving on down the line as far as the next week against Pewamo, Westphalia, this could be a team that could definitely make a state title run. And Chris said a couple times last night to him, next week's game is more than likely.
It's a state title championship game.
There's a couple other teams in there that
at least
they mentioned.
It has that atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
that's for sure.
It will. I
and
mean,
New Lothrop they were just fun to watch. I mean, they were athletic and nothing against Cass City at all, but they made it look easy out there, and they were having fun.
Yeah, a lot of motion going on in that New Lothrop, whether it's receivers, running across the backfield, man in motion almost every single play. So I think that got a little bit to Cassidy at some point in time with a lot of motion. And I tell you what, you want to talk about disciplined up front, New Lothrop. I mean, their linemen were finding blocks downfield in that second level, and they were staying on blocks. And the most impressive part is their receivers were on blocks the entire time. If it wasn't I mean, they were blocking, and they were blocking as hard as they could.
And that's something that Cassidy doesn't really see very much.
Oh, no,
You're not going to see that
Right.
motion all the time up in the thumb.
Yeah, no, and especially spreading the ball out as much as what they did. I mean, there was some times that they were empty backfield. Yeah. You know, and if it wasn't empty backfield, it was a runner to the left or right of Avery Moore. But you know, Moore set out the second half. I mean, Moore was 4 or 5 for 97 yards and a touchdown. But his replacement, Cameron Orr, not Moore, but Orr. Was only a sophomore, and
who was a first-team All-State baseball player as a freshman.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's
a
really
big
good.
kid.
He's
He's
a good baseball player.
He's a built kid. That's for sure.
Absolutely. He comes in. He totes the ball for 13 carries for 69 yards. So, obviously, one of those kids, and that can just absolutely, you know, he can step up at any point in time. You know, me personally, one of the kids that I was more impressed with, because you don't usually see it at that level, especially in D7, was you got a kicker.
Oh, yeah.
And a legitimate, Ian Gross, a legitimate kicker. And, you know, there was at one point, it was a bobbled snap on an extra point. He picked it up and ran it in for a 2-point conversion.
Nice.
And it's not like he's slow either.
No.
Very, very quick.
Yeah, because he came in. We thought, all right, we're going to see a nice boot here.
Yeah.
It would have been about close to a 30-yarder.
26, I think, is what it would have been.
And he came in, and they handed the ball off to him. So he can run the ball as well as boot it, too.
New Lothrop's one of those schools that, you know, they're a D7 school, class D-ish type school. They get all these athletes. I think a lot of them, they're not necessarily homegrown. They're overflow from Flushing, overflow from Carmen Ainsworth. And the people that show up there and say, hey, we want to play, and they're good athletes.
Yeah.
Well, and that really powers New Lothrop.
That's exactly where Harrison came
ways.
from. Aiden Harrison, the D1 commit from Missouri, he came out of Flushing.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
His parents moved last year back in because apparently they grew up in the New Lothrop area, is what we were told over there, and that was one of the things.
He was a 1,000-yard rusher last year for Flushing, so I mean, it's not bad when you can pick that up for senior year. Yeah, they were impressive. I mean, and then you, I don't know if you mentioned Muron. He was another.
Yeah, Will Muron. Yep.
Muron was another big part of their puzzle last night. I mean, they had weapons galore to use last night, and unfortunately came at the expense of Cass City, but
Kansas City was able to find the scoreboard. Luke Stern 57-yard run.
Beautiful
there
run.
Just before half. Was able to find some space and showcase his speed as he was able to take it down that right sideline, and just literally outrun everybody. Nobody on that field was going to catch him, but
he looked good all night long, though.
He did. He had a very good game. Luke Stern finished 19 carries for 129 yards and a touchdown. Alex Perry 15 carries for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, kind of surprising, Nagley not getting the amount of carries. I don't know, maybe if there was something a little bit more, maybe if he was hurt a little bit later on in the year, or what was going on. I know that some of the backs get quite a few carries. I know that earlier in the year he had a little bit of issues. So did Stern. But, only 6 carries for 9 yards, so not a big night out of him at all. And, Sandon could just not find anything going last night at all. Obviously, the field condition was not the best. They got rain there. They stated pretty much every single night leading up to Friday night. And it even rained Friday night when we were on the way down there. They got rain just before. And the field was in very rough condition. I mean, the players could not get any kind of footing. The first sign of, I guess, the weather was – when Jared Nagley carried the ball it wasn't a carry, it was a pass play, and Jared got bumped out of bounds, and water just went flying everywhere, and he come up and he was just completely muddy. Yeah, and that was the fourth or fifth play for Cass City on the night. So
must not drain well.
Apparently not.
No, I've never been to their football field.
I think it is
it's in the middle of a field.
I think it is clay.
That's what they said.
Okay, that could
so
be.
that has a
so it just doesn't drain then.
Yeah, from the 40s, the South 40 on in, just horrible. I mean, absolutely horrible. It was pretty bad. I mean, you can see it was very, very patchy. Going to the other side, to the north side, kind of from like the 35, maybe even the 40 on that side on in. I mean, hey, if you want to play football at the 50 and get some grip on those cleats, that'd be about it. But yeah, just a rough place to, especially gather your feet on.
They're talking about next week's game where they take on Pewamo, Westphalia, and they're kind of wondering where they could meet up at, and they were hoping that they could. They were, I don't know if they have a game against Chesaning or what, but they're like, yeah, Chesaning, and we'll see how welcoming they are of us. And they were talking.
Chesaning does have that turf now.
Yeah, and they were talking about they even threw out Flint Hamity's field because they just redid all their field over at Flint Hamity.
Oh, they have a brand new field.
I don't know if they had the field, but they just redid a ton of stuff over at Hamity. I was reading about it.
I thought maybe they played at Atwood Stadium.
Well, that's what
Atwood was the other
another one that they brought up as well. They said that they were hoping maybe possibly Atwood Stadium, but they're hoping that they can play somewhere with some good field conditions next week against that Pewamo Westphalia squad, which you're gonna want to have the best field conditions you can get and have the best opportunity to win that game, because that's going to be a tough one for New Lothrop. But if there's really any squad that we've seen that's ready for that test, I guess, New Lothrop is one of those squads, I think, that are in D7 that could definitely put up a fight against PW.
Well, they ended up knocking off a Montrose team that obviously knocked off Millington team last night, and they put up a lot of points on that Montrose team. So in a big rivalry game at that with the New Lothrop Montrose. So, I mean, there's a lot more implications with that game, moving on. But especially with this Pewamo Westphalia squad coming next week, I mean, we already seen what they did with Ithaca. Millington knocked off Ithaca. So it's going to be
defending state champs.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be an interesting matchup next week in that D7 region.
Just so you know, Christian, it is artificial turf at Hamity now. They put a $3 million project into it after they got a bond issue last year. They got all new bleachers. They got all new lights, press box. They have air conditioners in the press box, asphalt track, artificial field turf. Okay. So I
just thought maybe they played at Atwood. So nice.
Yeah, they redid the entire thing over there in Hamity. So no wonder they're undefeated. They had to. They better come out and play their best football if they want to. They want to get people to come in and pay for that. But nonetheless, So it was a tough loss for Cass City. But a great season for the Red Hawks. Again, we talked about it last night. Able to pick up a Greater Thumb West title for the first time in school history outright. Was that? Did they get a share? I can't remember now. Before in the past.
In the past, they have.
In the past, they had a share
of the Greater Thumb West.
Yeah, no.
It was when there was the
Thumb B.
Yeah, but it was their first Greater Thumb West.
First outright since 74.
Outright since 74, but it was. But it technically the first Greater Thumb West, wasn't it?
Yes, it was first Greater Thumb West.
Okay, all right. So, I mean, we talked about it when you have teams like Lakers, Reese, USA. It's hard to grab onto a title. You got to go pretty much undefeated, and it's something Cassidy's ran into a problem with the Lakers of the past.
Because Reese was dominant there for a decade. USA, decade before that, and Lakers in and out of there. So it's been tough.
Still a very impressive season though for Cassidy, finally getting over that hump of Lakers and getting that conference title, outright title, and bringing that home. I know they'd probably would rather have brought home that first district title in school history, but. We'll see Coach Cothrell going back to the drawing board, and obviously Sandy coming back next year. We'll see where they get end up, and we'll see what happens with them. If there's anybody that can keep that ship steered in the right direction, it's Coach Cothrell, that's for sure.
It's going to be interesting to see what next year brings for the Cass City Redhawks. Obviously, they're not losing a lot of seniors, but they're losing enough senior leadership that it is going to hurt them.
Hank Janik, one of them that's a big piece of that puzzle, and Luke Stern.
Yep.
Was Naglia senior as well?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's three big names right there right off the bat, but we'll see what does happen.
I got a quick question. We're actually Hunter James has got us in studio with us today. Hunter, I got a question for you just real quick. Going around the area, obviously playoff time. You guys got knocked out. I mean, how do you?
We got to introduce him too.
Yeah, I know. I know we did. So we apologize.
Hunter James, the Kingston Cardinals, is in the studio.
How do you? I mean, as a representation from the Thumb, will you go out, follow some of these teams from the Thumb that are able to make a deeper push?
Oh yeah, I'll always follow these teams around here. It'll be something I love to do. Stay involved with it.
How about obviously you got your Cass City, your New Lothrops. I mean, when you take you hear about these new Lothrop squads, Pewamo, Westphalia, things of that nature. I mean, does that want to get you out there to? You're in your senior year, and obviously the football season's done for you now. But if you were to back up to like your junior year, I mean, is that one of those things where you go out and you want to watch those games to see maybe what they're doing slightly different?
Yeah, I mean,
I know 8-player to 11-player is different, but I mean, is that something that you would try to want to take a look at?
Yeah, we had one bye week this week, or it wasn't a bye week; it was Dryden forfeited. got to go watch Cass City and Carroll, and it was just a great game to watch, to see some 11-player football instead of some 8-player. Just different, a little bit different, but good to see.
The most important question, are you going to be rocking maroon and gold and going up to Au Gres this weekend?
Yeah,
I was thinking about it. That was quite a hike up there.
But yeah, that's going to be a big game coming up later on this afternoon.
Just be honest. If it was anybody but Deckerville, you'd be going.
It's okay.
He's speechless.
It's okay. I'm a Sandusky grad. I have the same kind of feeling towards Deckerville as well. But no, yeah, that's what you see athletes out there at different games when they have off nights, even at basketball games. You see little crews coming in, and the one night, the first week of football. When Lakers played on Thursday night, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and Marlette played on Friday. Lakers came over and were scouting Reese,
right.
And also Marlette. I don't know if they played Marlette. I don't remember. I don't think they did this year. But anyways, they came over and we're watching the Reese against Marlette. I used to have the coach roll in, Coach Verberg, and a couple of the guys come in and watch that game. So you do see other varsity jackets out there when they have other off nights, kind of getting ideas, and which is always a good thing. And I think a couple of the coaches from Kingston went over to that first Deckerville game. I don't know if you were over there, Hunter, when they played the first week. I think you guys played.
I don't remember that.
Because I know Carl Nickel went over there, and Dave Lester went over there, and a couple other guys went over there to watch that Deckerville game. So it's you see other coaches and players out there kind of get an idea of what they're going to be facing. That's helps out. I mean, you get film and whatnot, but seeing it in person is kind of a whole nother story.
The thumb area is kind of like the UP as well, right?
Derek and I always thought so.
To a sense, I mean, when somebody gets knocked out, you're always going to have a backing. And Hunter, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, you're always going to have a backing, from your schools, right? I mean, other schools in the area. You already said, you went up to watch Cass City, and say Cass City's still rolling in the playoffs. I mean, I would imagine that there would be a lot of kids from whether it's Kingston or Carroll, things of that nature. I mean, they go and they back those schools because I mean it's a thumb area school.
Right. Yeah.
It's similar demographics, especially the eastern UP area.
Yeah.
Similar demographics, similar type people. I think so. It's always been, and
that's a great comparison.
It's always been kind of cool.
Yeah, because you see, even when Derek would talk about it in Cedarville, and he talked about Pickford and Rudyard and those types of schools up there, and
they all have their own type of media association where the thumb does, their own type of media association where they're all close knit and they protect each other. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah, we ran into another media last night.
We did.
Yeah, remember them?
Which ones?
92.5.
92.5 the Castle.
What we just gave them a plug.
I know we did.
No, we just ran into them and then
out of where?
They're Chesaning, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, yeah.
I think that's where they're based at. But we also ran into a gentleman from the second half from
MHSA, the second half. Yeah.
But he sounded like he covered the thumb at one point.
He did. He did. We'll keep quiet about the teams that he did not like at the time.
I'm assuming it's Millington is one of them.
No. It was further in the thumb.
Okay.
All the way to the east. They played last night.
He didn't. He didn't say so much he hated them. He said that I don't know where he was from, but he said they played them and he didn't like them because they were so good. They'd always beat up on
Harbor Beach.
Who was it?
I cannot remember his name.
Harbor Beach. I don't remember his name.
He's an older guy,
but yeah,
he was taking photos. He came up. Went to town on some chips.
Chips, subs.
He
had a gourmet meal in front of him at one point. So I'm not gonna lie.
He had the spread laid out in front of him, and then at halftime he was talking to us. I'll tell you, I got something to tell you off the air as well that was said up in the booth. But nonetheless, it was a big night last night for New Lothrop. Tough end of the season for Cass City, but a great season for the Red Hawks, and I'm excited to see what happens to them next year. And we're gonna take a quick break right now. We're gonna come back. We do got Hunter James in the studio. Going to be talking about something more than just something that we talked about usually week in and week out on the air, and something that I'm sure Christian's got a sour feeling towards if you're a fan of the Millington Cardinals right now and the zebra is out on the field. But nonetheless, let's take that break. We'll come back. We got more Let's Talk Sports brought to you by Air Advantage.
The Vote's only road to pure classic rock, I-92. Hey, it's Bob Hughes from the Morning Traffic Jams. I want to take a minute to tell you about Air Advantage wireless and fiber internet services. Since I've lived in the Thumb, the only choice I've had for internet has been wireless, because that's just how it is out here. I went through 2 other providers before I found Air Advantage wireless for my home. In the coming months, Air Advantage and I92 will be telling you about the investment they're beginning to make in the Thumb to bring the world a little closer, a lot quicker. I am currently using that new technology, and it's the only company that has given me the reliability and bandwidth I can count on. So stay tuned. There's more to come from Air Advantage Internet Services.
Are you looking for new furniture, flooring, appliances? The place to go in the Thumb is Schneeberger's in downtown Cass City. At Schneeberger's, choose from hundreds of models on floor, in stock, right now, ready to go. So whether it's a lazy boy chair, sofa, or love seat, they've got it at Schneeberger's in downtown Cass City. Maybe you're looking for flooring. Well, Schneeberger's has that too. Everything from laminate, wood, tile, whatever it is you need. If you want to get it at the best price around, then you need to go to Schneeberger's in downtown Cass City today.
Never before in the history of F-150s have the rebates been this good. Hi, Dawn Foote here from More Motor Sales in Caro. We have the best selection of F-150s and Super Duty trucks in 3 counties. If you currently have a Ford lease to turn in, you would qualify for up to $14,901 in discounts and rebates on select models. And ask one of our certified sales professionals to check for extra incentives, and you may qualify for up to $3,000 more. See me, Dawn Foote, at More Motor Sales, just west of Caro on M81. See you soon.
Hey, it's Bob Hughes from the Morning Traffic Jams. I want to take a minute to tell you about Air Advantage wireless and fiber internet services. Since I've lived in the Thumb, the only choice I've had for internet has been wireless, because that's just how it is out here. I went through 2 other providers before I found Air Advantage wireless for my home. In the coming months, Air Advantage and I92 will be telling you about the investment they're beginning to make in the Thumb to bring the world a little closer, a lot quicker. I am currently using that new technology, and it's the only company that has given me the reliability and bandwidth I can count on. So stay tuned. There's more to come from Air Advantage Internet Services.
Hills and Dales General Hospital is excited to welcome Dr. Brian Perry, board-certified otolaryngologist. Dr. Perry will see patients at Hills and Dales twice a month and will also perform surgery at Hills and Dales. Dr. Perry sees patients for a wide variety of reasons, including diagnosis of ear, nose, and throat disorders, head and neck problems, allergy testing and immunotherapy, hearing evaluations, and more. To schedule an appointment, call 989-912-6112.
Weather brought to you by Thumb Cooling and Heating, with stores in Cass City and Caro. If you need it cold or need it hot, give Thumb Cooling and Heating a shot. I92 weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the Thumb's Classic Rock I92 weatherology forecast. A blend of clouds and sun today with highs around 44. Winds out of the northwest 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy again tonight, lows around 32. Chance for scattered showers tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 49, cloudy. 52 Monday with a chance for scattered showers. 58 Tuesday, chance for showers continues. And that's the Thumb's Classic Rock I92 weather forecast. I'm weatherology meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 38.
Classic Rock I92.
This is Luke Stern from the Cass City Redhawks, and you're listening to Let's Talk Sports.
Speaking of the man, Luke Stern, last night's game.
Speaking of him,
he had a big game last night for New Lothrop.
For Cass City. Not New Lothrop.
Against New Lothrop.
There
But
you
he
go.
did
Okay,
have a
gotcha.
big game against
He
New
did.
Lothrop.
Yeah.
He did, yes. Thank you. Christian's got my back.
Chris is just a jerk.
I am a jerk.
It's
Don't
that
tell anybody.
Kingston-Sandusky rivalry coming back. Even though they don't play each other this year, I'm pretty bummed about that, unfortunately. They didn't.
Really?
They couldn't fit each other in because they had so many teams that were added into the Greater Thumb Conference, so they weren't able to squeeze that game in like they normally do. So, nonetheless, some big games coming up. Speaking of Kingston, we turn to our left right now. Well, my left, your guys is right, and we have Hunter James in the building, like we said before break. And Chris, I know that you called him in here because Hunter's got a little bit of a different view on the football side of things because he does play it, but he also has another hand in the football side of things and the route of say like the Rad Raider, Connor Thomas.
There you go.
Who's doing?
Wow, throwback.
Yeah, I remember on Twitter he said he hated that nickname. So. I think he said that one time. I was like,
and as he's listening, he's gonna make a phone call.
I'm glad I didn't come up with that nickname.
That was Derek.
Yeah, that was all Derek. That was all Derek's doing on that one. But nonetheless, Hunter, welcome on in as we talked to you just a little bit ago. And Chris, I'll let you take over because this was your idea. This was your brainchild, so I will let you.
Well, I don't know if it was a complete brainchild of mine, but yeah, it was an idea. Obviously, there's struggles out there right now with the MHSAA officials, and Scott and I, and maybe even Christian a little bit, may not think too fondly of them sometimes. Making calls or not, but Hunter, a little bit about yourself. Obviously, you stepped up. You're now a registered MHSAA official in your senior year of high school. Tell me a little bit about the program itself and how you got involved and why you got involved.
I don't know. I just think it's a great experience, great way to make money when you're young. Started out.
Honest.
He is.
Money's all about it.
Yeah, started out when I was in would have been 10th grade. I did a youth football game at Kingston and walked home with like $45. Was there for an hour and a half. I was like, this ain't half bad. And then ended up on Matt Fields, which is my football coach. Next year said something about a legacy official and signed me up. And I wanted to know something I wanted to do. It's me and Mason DeBloy from Kingston. It's another kid that goes to our school. But what that is it's just a program for young officials that and MHSA is in such a need that they'll waive the processing fee for you if you're part of the legacy official, and that's for juniors and seniors still in high school. So yeah, I got set up there. All you have to do is pay $15 per sport, and that gets you two patches to go on a shirt and then 2 rule books. So it doesn't end up being that bad. So I'm registered in 3 sports right now. I got football, basketball, and baseball.
So out of those 3 sports, which ones do you like to officiate the most?
I like football the best. You're away from everybody more.
you're not as out cold. Now being you're a sideline judge, right?
Right. Yeah. So I've done umpire and I've done sideline judge.
Okay.
Line judge, linesman.
Now, would you rather be the umpire or would you rather be a linesman?
Depends on the coaches on the sideline.
Yeah, okay, all right, it comes out. I just wanted to, I just wanted to make sure on that one. Just wanted to make sure on that one. So obviously, it sounds like Coach Matt Fields at the time got you involved and going. I mean, is this something that you could direct a lot of other area athletes within the area to maybe have a hand in participating, or even participating in local youth sports to maybe build up a level of confidence to maybe want to do a MHSAA game?
Yeah, I think it's a great thing, and it's a great way to make money. Like I said earlier, it's you could go work at McDonald's or something, but I feel like this, you're more involved with the game and stuff, and it's good pay. I mean, last year I was doing Saturdays. You go there for 5 hours and walk home with $300, and it wasn't enough gas for the week and
not too shabby,
not at all.
So
and actually, through college, that was my job. I didn't really have a job through college. Going through college, that was my job to officiate. I did basketball and baseball, and it kept me busy, all the time. And it's a good paying job. It really is.
Right.
I remember Derek did too. He did.
Yes.
I think he did rec volleyball, and he got paid like $50 or something to do games because they're in need of them. I mean,
no, absolutely, and it's a need all across all levels. And that was kind of one of the points I wanted to bring in here today, Hunter. And going back, I guess, to the officiating side of it, do you have a better perspective officiating and then also playing the game? I mean, do you get a better perspective out of that now? I mean, how does your level of the official kind of play out now that you're behind center in football? I mean, how does your perspective change at all?
I mean, I started paying a lot more attention to the refs than I always used to, like seeing what they're doing from what I've learned and then trying to learn from them. And I think it did teach me a lot about the sport, actually, like when I was reading the rules and everything, and then you get a lot more knowledge about the game.
Was there at one point during the rule book you're like, my gosh, I do that all the time?
Oh, yeah.
Helps you understand the game a little bit better, right?
Right, yeah.
So at a youth level, how many youth sports do you do? I mean, do you just do football? You do basketball and baseball, or?
Yeah, I did a lot of football. Every weekend, every Sunday I did football this year, and I'm going to be doing a lot of basketball tournaments. That's Connor Thomas, the Rad Ratter. That's who got me started in there in the basketball in Brown City there. He started doing that, and then got me a couple more games, and I'm going to do try and get varsity games this year if I can over my Christmas break with them. Try and learn. So
get a little bit more under your belt as well,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
and moving forward. So at the youth level, I mean, besides football, I mean, have you done baseball at the youth level at all, or?
yeah, I did an all-star tournament in Brown City, and then I did a couple Kingston softball 14U games, and a couple in Cass City 14U games.
So obviously you are a registered MHSAA official. I mean, is this something that if there's some local organizations that need some help doing stuff, looking for some officials? I mean, would you be willing to help out as well at a certain level?
Yeah, for sure. I just like helping out because I mean there is a big shortage, and I guess there's something on the MHSA site that said if the shortage continued for 10 more years, it'd be a struggle to even play high school sports anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So,
real quick, we have Hunter's #1 fan on the
There it is.
phone. Let's talk sports. Good morning.
This is Bob.
Hey, Bub.
Hey, Bob.
What's
What's
up,
up?
Bob?
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
How you doing, Hunter?
Can you hear him?
Not too good.
Is Hunter James there?
He's right here.
How we doing, bub?
How you doing?
Not too bad.
So you okay now?
Yeah, I'm all good.
He was worried.
I
About
heard you got concussion.
Yeah, I did get a concussion. I'm getting better now, though. Should be good for basketball
Okay.
season.
Yep.
Yup.
Yep.
Bubs, yep.
Well, Bub.
You guys come to my lab this year.
What's that?
Kingston comes to my lab this year.
Oh, they do. You know that? Did you know that Kingston comes to Marlette this year in basketball?
Yep.
Oh, for boys or
Yep.
girls?
Boys or girls?
Both.
Both. You said.
Both.
All right, can't wait to see you there, bub.
Okay.
You gonna be making the way over to Kingston too?
Huh?
You gonna try to get over to Kingston too and watch a game? You got some big games
I
going.
could try to.
You'll try to. All right.
Hey, Bub, there's a holiday tournament in Millington you should come on over to.
Okay. Is my land in it?
No, it's Vassar, Sassa, and Mayville.
Because we scrimmage Millington.
Yes. I'll be up there. I'll see you.
Bub, you should start charging for these
Are you gonna bring
appearances.
my niece?
She'll be up there as well. Yes, Trinity will be up there as well.
Yep, and I got a niece that plays for Kingston, too.
Yep.
Yep. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we're doing the Bub Yup now.
Yep.
And
It's trademarked.
I'm giving you a couple cotton T-shirts.
What's that?
I'm giving you a couple cotton T-shirts.
Oh, I'd love one. We need some
One
decorations.
from Kingston, one from Millington.
Yes, we need some decorations in the studio.
I'll just wear them on the weekend.
Okay.
Because
Hey.
they're both my nieces and their family.
Yep.
We gotta get Bub a Player of the Week shirt.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah, we do.
And I would told them other people, their family.
That's good.
There you go. You got family all over, Bub.
And I'm gonna work and wear them on the weekend.
There you go. You're all set up, man.
He's the godfather of the thumb.
All right.
Kristen could set me up.
You darn right. I'll set you up. I'll get you a T-shirt. I'll get one for you. I just ordered.
Medium.
I just ordered them
Medium.
yesterday. I'll get you a medium.
And that's what I told my niece, Michelle, I wanted to, because she takes me Christmas shopping.
Oh, I see.
Well, geez, look at you.
Trenton's mom.
Okay.
You're all set up, man.
And we always stop at Pizza Hut.
You got the setup.
Because they have good pizza. That's why.
And they got a new thing I like now, pizza bites.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, those are good.
That's Bub's size.
Yes. It's almost like stuffed dough balls.
Perfect.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Is
That's just my favorite kind of food, pizza.
You darn right.
Trevi's
That way.
okay with you giving this plug to Pizza Hut? You better watch yourself. Trevi's aren't gonna be happy.
I heard a good game last night.
Okay. Yeah, what game?
Albany and Harvey Beach.
Yeah, I heard that was a good one.
Triple overtime.
Triple overtime. Did you stay up for the entire thing?
And there was 4 big goals. Albany and Harvey Beach kids stopped them.
I know. Yeah, Chris and I were listening to it. We
That
were
was an awesome game.
we were almost home before it ended. So.
Yep.
Yep. All right, Bub. You got any big plans for today?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Just watch Michigan State.
Well, they're not playing each other, but you're gonna
Go, go blue.
Go blue, right?
I can do both.
You can do both. Yes, you can root for both now, right?
Because you're both from Michigan.
There you go.
Yes.
Bub's an equal opportunity man.
But I just can't make Coach Lester understand.
Coach,
Did you get them both?
Coach Lester sees it correctly.
He sees blue. Well, good luck to both squads, Michigan State, Bub, and hopefully you have a great rest of your Saturday, man, and we'll talk to you soon.
Are you guys going to be in the next week's sports show?
I'd imagine so.
Heck
Wrap
yeah.
up the season.
We'll wrap up
we'll
the
wrap it up.
season and then get ready for basketball.
Okay.
All right.
I'll talk to you guys later.
All right,
See you,
man.
Bub.
See you, Bub. All right, there you go. Bub Armstrong. Marlette.
Real quick.
I was gonna break the news. You're gonna.
You got it, or you want?
Son of a.
You go ahead and take it.
Yami Albrecht, 3-time state champ.
There you go.
15:42.46, knocking off the second place kid Jeremy Klaus from Harbor Springs, who had a 15:45.38. So just getting past him.
It's not even running. It's like flying.
I know.
That's driving in
But
a car.
Still got to look at the teams. I'm not sure exactly how
like
that
literally-
works.
It's not official yet.
No, it's not. I haven't seen.
It's like literally those little wings on your feet.
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
shoes.
flies. Yeah, right. That's Red Bull gives you wings, right?
Yes.
Also up there as well, Canarian from Bad X at a 16:13. Caleb Cotton came in 7th with a 16:38. And I think that is it for the top 20. Is that what they do, top 20, I think? Or I can't remember how they do it. Al explained it to me one day how
I think
they
it's the
do
top.
the All-State.
I think it's the top 30.
And just
believe.
know, you heard that on Let's Talk Sports First, not the Tuscola County Advertiser.
They said in via of a text from Jay Riley, he says he believes that the top 5 finished in the top 30. So that's
Awesome.
For Carroll?
Yeah, for Carroll.
Let's see,
So,
one,
but
two,
he will get the official here. Later
That
on.
should do it, you
No,
would think.
no, not
two
the
of
case.
two of the 5.
2 of the 5.
Yeah, finished in the top 30.
Okay. You got the official updates over there.
Must be
Yeah.
the pain medications for his knees hurting him still.
I don't see anybody else. I don't
Okay.
know. It doesn't have the finish. It just has the 3 mile.
Okay.
But from what I can see, it just has Caleb and Yami.
Gotcha.
Caleb, two of the 5 finished in the top 10. So
Okay.
it's pretty impressive
That's
still.
very awesome.
So congratulations to Yami and another big showing as well for Carroll with Caleb Cotton in 7th. So
Absolutely.
There you go.
Hey, Hunter, real quick. I just want to touch base on this. We talked a little bit off air. I want to bring it up on air because I think it's an important part of the official aspect as well to a certain level. But you got knocked out of the Deckerville game with a concussion.
Right.
Obviously, Bub had talked about it, and I was talking to you a little bit about it off air. I mean, how serious was it of a concussion? I mean, tell me a little bit about it.
I don't know. I don't really remember much of like the end of the second quarter, and then the guy said that my play calls were a little funny, and I don't like when I go up to the line, I didn't remember what I just called, and then I went to the locker room at halftime. That's when everybody kind of saw that I wasn't normal, and then I went out and they tried to make me leave, but you know me, I was trying my hardest to stay back in that game. Well, I didn't want to leave. Well,
and concussions, you know, obviously it's a serious thing. I mean, when you take a look at it, and it's not that it could happen all the time. I'm sure it was a freak thing how it happened to you as well. But from an official standpoint, I mean, is that something when you see some hard hits or anything like that? I mean, are you looking at like the jarring of the head or anything of that nature? I mean, to maybe say something to the coach?
Right, yeah. I mean, obviously they're making the rules a lot more strict on it nowadays with the targeting and everything, but yeah, if you see somebody take a pretty big blow to the head, probably somebody should be letting know about it.
Well, I'm obviously glad that you're okay. You said you had a rough week in school, trying to focus and everything else.
Yeah.
For that first. Well, it'd have been last week, is what it would have been, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So, glad that you're okay. Obviously, you told everybody you're all right. But hey, thank you for joining us on the show today. Talking
Awesome.
a little bit about
Thanks,
the
Hunter.
officials. Yeah. So, I mean, if there's one last thing that you could say about officiating for the MHSAA, I mean, what would it kind of condense down to?
I don't know. I feel like it's a great experience to stick with it now that I'm graduated now, or I'm going to be graduating. I can still stick with sports now. I won't be able to, play in the sports anymore, but I'll still be able to like get the experience of being able to be there on the court and or on the field, and I think it'll just be a great experience.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Hunter.
Thanks for having me,
Yeah,
guys.
thanks, Hunter.
Absolutely, thank you.
And you can stick around if you want. Or you can split. It's up to you, man.
Yeah, it's totally up to you.
The studio's open. You can hang out. It's up to you.
I guess.
All right. All right. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. Get the Millington volleyball squad in the house. We'll get them on in here in just a second. It is Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by Air Advantage right here. Classic Rock I92.
Classic Rock I92.
Are you looking for new furniture, flooring, appliances? The place to go in the thumb is Schneeberger's in downtown Cass City. At Schneeberger's, choose from hundreds of models on floor, in stock, right now, ready to go. So whether it's a lazy boy chair, sofa, or love seat, they've got it at Schneeberger's in downtown Cass City. Maybe you're looking for flooring. Well, Schneeberger's has that too. Everything from laminate, wood, tile, whatever it is you need. If you want to get it at the best price around, then you need to go to Schneeberger's in downtown Cass City today.
Summertime is the time to get a vehicle wrapped around yourself that's all new to you. How about a great deal on an 09 Chevy Silverado Extended Cab 1500 LT? It has a 5-liter 8-cylinder plus power windows, locks, Sirius XM radio, and all the gadgets for $11,000. Or step up to a 2016 GM certified Chevy Silverado regular cab 2500 HD work truck. Just one owner and a local trade. It has a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. Call Moore Shoreline at 989-883-2100. All prices plus tax and dock fees. See Moore Shoreline for details.
You've always heard this saying, accidents happen, and when they do, take your vehicle to the Bell-Wassick Collision Center for the best service around. Their collision center is open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, and they accept all insurances, so no need to worry. Plus, they understand you still need to get around even if you don't have your wheels, so they offer free new loaner cars. Bell-Wassick Collision Center aims to relieve some of the inconvenience and stress in any way they can. For more info, call them today at 673-6126 or check them out online at bellwassick.com.
Do some of your most important purchases many times feel like you're standing in a never-ending line? You're surrounded by people in front of you, behind you, everyone's impatient, and it seems like you have to hurry to make your buying decision.
Number 27, please.
You can avoid that feeling of being rushed with Thumb Cellular. It's time to call Tanya Rubin, Thumb Cellular Sales Executive. Just call Tanya at 989-553-5282 and set up an appointment at your nearest Thumb Cellular office. You won't have to stand in line, and Tanya can advise you on all your options so you can relax and choose the phone and plan that's just right for you. And if you can't make it to a Thumb Cellular office, Tanya can meet you at your home or business. It's cell phone buying the right way, your way, only from your local cellular provider, Thumb Cellular.
If you're ready for a better cellular experience, call me for an appointment, Tanya Rubin, at 989-553-5282. Remember, at Thumb Cellular, we've got you covered.
Also, learn how to better use your phone during Tuesdays with Tanya. This coming Tuesday at the Caro office from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for one-on-one help with your mobile phone questions.
The UPS store in Frankenmuth is more than just a store to pack and ship items. Yeah, they do that, but they also offer moving supplies and packaging materials, printing and copying, wide format print and blueprints, notary, fax, and shredding service, office supplies, greeting cards, mailbox service, and if you think that's all, you're wrong. They offer so much more, and best of all, they're locally owned and operated. Check out the UPS store at 481 North Main Street in Frankenmuth or call 652-4877.
Weather brought to you by Thumb Cooling and Heating, with stores in Cass City and Caro. If you need it cold or need it hot, give Thumb Cooling and Heating a shot. I92 weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the Thumb's Classic Rock I92 weatherology forecast. A blend of clouds and sun today with highs around 44. Winds out of the northwest 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy again tonight, lows around 32. Chance for scattered showers tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 49, cloudy. 52 Monday with a chance for scattered showers. 58 Tuesday, chance for showers continues. And that's the Thumb's Classic Rock I92 weather forecast. I'm weatherology meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 40.
This is Hunter James from Kingston, and you're listening to Let's Talk Sports.
And you are listening to Let's Talk Sports here on Classic Rock I92. Scott Bowles back with you alongside Christian Zalick and Chris Wilcox in the house this Saturday morning. Third day of November. Once again, Michigan Wolverine football coming up here a little bit later on. That's why I like Hunter being in the studio, because he's one of the smarter ones we brought in, because he doesn't root for that other team. But again, 2:45 pregame, 3:45 kickoff, taking on Penn State. Big game coming up tonight, this afternoon, for the Wolverines.
Go Blue.
And we now have some more guests in the studio, and I'm going to hand it on over to Christian, because this is Christian's
second straight Cardinal volleyball team.
Oh,
It
that's
is.
right. It took me a
weeks
second. I
ago.
was like, what are you talking about? Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
Yes, you were right.
2 district titles.
2 district
That's
champions.
That's that Let's Talk Sports pixie
It
dust
is.
we talked
That
about.
is.
Exactly, yeah.
Absolutely.
See if they
I
can
know.
keep it going on into the regionals.
I know.
So
I know.
we'll see.
So, welcome, Michelle.
Hi.
Ladies, welcome.
They're like, okay.
Coach Michelle Bauk with us in studio here. Former Millington grad, 93?
Yes.
93, I'm
Yes.
correct, yes. So, tell us a little bit about the season. What were your expectations coming in? Did you expect a run at the Tri-Valley East, a district title?
I was really not sure what to expect exactly. My goal the whole year was to win districts, and then as the season got rolling, I realized that maybe that goal was too low for this group. I knew they were good. As a fan watching the last couple years, I knew that they had a lot of talent, and this year I just have been really impressed with them. I mean, sometimes I think it was in our Caro match in the finals of the first Caro tournament that we went to when we played against them, and I remember telling them they were inspiring because just the way they were playing, the way they were getting after every ball was inspiring. And then our offense is always pretty potent. So the defense and the offense together, it's a pretty wicked combo sometimes.
What pulled everything together from the previous couple of years, and without getting the stuff that's happened in the past and everything, but was it more of, hey, we're seniors now and we need to pick this up a little bit? And
I think maybe just a few key wins at the beginning, like that first home game that we had when we hosted Swan Valley and getting that win, just like that feeling of we know we can do it now. I think that the last couple years, I think that really all they lacked was a little confidence, but I think they built that with that first big win. So I think that just confidence is the key.
good, yeah, definitely, because I know I've seen it the girls walking through the school, just a little bit of swagger. Hey, I think we're pretty good. We're doing some things well, and they get mentioned. So your first year, obviously here for the second time, and how did that feel coming back home and coaching again?
You're gonna make me cry.
No
awesome.
crying on air. No
we
crying on air.
had somebody cry last week.
We did.
Yes, we
Cam,
did,
we almost made her cry as well. So
yeah, so it's just special. It's special. It's been 25 years since I graduated, and in '93 we had a really special run, and so it's just kind of like you can't recreate what happened 25 years ago, but these girls and the talent that they have and the way that they love the game, it's just good to. Sometimes I just feel like I get to be like a closest witness to what's going on the floor and the best cheerleader I can be.
Yes, I know the four of them that are in studio: Aaron and Grace and Caitlin and Addie. They've all put a ton of time into volleyball between your guys' youth smash volleyball and then whatever else they're doing as well. So it's been awesome to see. So where do you go on from here? Obviously, you got the district title. USA up next. You're in Bad Axe, right, on Tuesday?
We're in Bad Axe on Tuesday at 7:30, and I'm just really looking forward to the game. We've got to analyze some game film this weekend and get our plan together and have a hard practice Monday and just go get them Tuesday.
Let's talk real quick, Christian. Let's talk about the drought that was over in Millington for a while, 15 years.
Since the last district.
Since the last district. Tell us a little bit about that and how the atmosphere has been since then with the girls.
Well, I think the quote of the year could have been from Caitlin when she made a comment one time that she wants people to know that Millington's got a volleyball team too. Because the softball team is awesome; they do amazing things, and the football team, has a lot of success over the years. And she just wanted everybody to remember we've got a volleyball team too. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is.
Well, you definitely made everyone remember. That trophy in the case. That one's there forever, which is kind of nice. USA, Riley Zimmer. I'm assuming they're pretty much their best player after watching her before, and I think some of you guys film and watch it. And how do you prepare for her?
Well, we have an idea of where she's going to hit the ball. It's going to be short. She gets up so high, she's going to bring it down short. In the short court, she's not going to hit it deep as much. So we know how to set up for that. We've got big kids too, and I don't want to give too many secrets.
Yeah, exactly.
But we've got some ideas, and then we've got another another Millington graduate who's a coach at Morley Stanwood, Robin Koju, was Robin Ill. She is looking at some film footage for us as well.
Outstanding.
So we're going to get some input from her on a coach's perspective. So
Outstanding.
I think that's going to be kind of key as well to see what she has to say.
That's actually cool that you mentioned her, because during basketball this season, we are during our Cardinals Legends Night, we're honoring her and Renee together.
Awesome.
January 11th against Bertrand. So,
cool.
And then the boys are doing Vernon Surgeon that same day. So,
oh, awesome,
yeah,
awesome.
So that'll be a fun night. Addie, you want to come up next?
She's like, no, I don't. that look of, yeah, right.
Deer in the headlights.
So, first of all, congratulations on the season.
Thank you.
You know, it's becoming you get to that senior thing, and you look at some of, maybe some of the things you've done in the past, and hey, I might have a chance to get to this my senior year. But did you ever think at one point, obviously throughout the year you did at one point, but at the beginning of the year, hey, I might be able to break an assist record here? Did you think that was a possibility, or?
Not really, kind of, but I didn't really think that far.
Yeah. And then actually now it just putting it out of range.
Yeah.
And that was your mom's record you broke too.
My mom had it, and then the next year somebody beat
okay.
hers. But yeah, she did have it.
She did have it for a while. Okay. So what is your role on the team? Not necessarily as a setter, but what do you do on the team?
I try to encourage my teammates and keep them excited and ready to play.
You're very soft-spoken. to keep them excited, I like that. Just to keep them excited,
What's it been like playing for your aunt?
It's been fun.
Yeah.
It gets stressful sometimes because we are close. So yeah, but it's been fun. I like it.
Has she, and I know my nieces would tell me this, probably as well, has she been like a parent sometimes on the floor and maybe getting on you a little bit more than...
yes, definitely.
I know my nieces would say that as well.
Did you show her the paper today? Her
no, I
action
didn't.
shot
I
at the
didn't.
top
No,
of
you're on
the
the top of
paper.
the paper too.
Look at that.
Right on top of the paper.
I know.
Above the fold, which I've never been able to be above the fold. If you're above the fold, you know you've made it. That's for sure.
It's pretty cool.
So I've never been able to get up that far. So, well, actually, one time. That was only because.
Derek and I did one time.
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
you guys did.
Yeah.
I was shot with what's her name? The rising star here in Carroll. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we took a picture with her. And that was the only time. It's only because she was in it. We get off track a lot here, guys. So
yeah, exactly. We're everywhere. So the other night, was it the first set? You served out the last 15 points?
Yes.
Yeah. What does that feel like? I mean, that's just a ton of points. And
yes. Well, their student section kept, because I missed my first serve,
Mm-hmm.
and they were being loud and obnoxious, and I was like, okay, I don't like that. So that made me mad. And
is that a personal record for you? I mean, 15. That's.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a ton.
Mm-hmm.
So any aspirations after school's done, after this whole ride is done, wherever it may end, if it ends Tuesday or if it ends over in Kalamazoo in a couple weeks, and or is it Battle Creek? Never mind. I know I said that wrong. What aspirations do you have after school?
I want to attend Delta and become a physical therapist assistant.
Awesome. Very good.
Pioneer pride.
Yes, exactly.
right.
Hey, Michelle, another question for you when you get a chance.
Hey, Eddie, real quick, your favorite memory thus far in the season?
I don't know. Oh, yes, the game point in Frankenmuth. That's
Huge.
crazy. That was so fun.
Loudest place that you play besides Millington?
Loudest place?
Yes, that you've played besides Millington.
Probably, I don't know. Probably Montrose, just on
Montrose.
Thursday, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because with everyone sitting right there on you.
Yes, yeah.
To piggyback on the question I asked her, what's it like coaching your nieces?
Yeah, you can jump on over there.
it's just has all the challenges that you would expect. You know, you want so much for them and you expect so much from them. So it just makes it anything that you say, sometimes you feel like you're under a microscope. We had a couple moments at the Carol match.
Yes.
So make it interesting. So.
Yes.
But, you know, it's all worth it. So.
I know I had both of my nieces talk to my children beforehand and say, you guys need to tell them what it's going to be like. Because you're no longer my nieces, you're kind of my children on the team. So that's what it is. Caitlin, come on up. So,
yeah, you can move that to where you need it to.
Yeah, just adjust it.
Yes.
There you
She's a little taller. Is DJ listening?
I don't know. He's hunting right now.
Oh. Of course he's listening. So 4 years on varsity, you know, obviously turns out being best years. You get that trophy to put away. What's this been like for you this last year?
It's been a dream come true. Just to go from what we were like my freshman year and not playing sophomore year and like just our record even last year to going to getting the feeling of winning and having the confidence, like you said, to walk through the halls like, yeah, we're kind of good.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
awesome. It's amazing.
Explain to everyone, you know, you mentioned not playing your sophomore year, and why is that?
I went under 2 knee surgeries that ended my freshman year. I ended up being out for districts in our last game freshman year, and I was actually out for a total of 16 months. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's took a toll, I know, on you, and a lot of work to get back to the point. And it looks like this year you're finally healthy. I mean, you played well last year, but you could see the extra pep in your step and when you're on the court this year. And it's very nice to see you healthy again.
Yeah, it's nice to
Yeah.
finally be back to 100%.
So what's your favorite part of the season so far?
Like favorite memory?
Yeah, favorite memory.
Probably beating Frankenmuth, just because like we've never beaten Frankenmuth, and like it's Frankenmuth, they're our rival.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Brian Glady said it last night, but I wasn't quite sure if he was true or not. But that was the first time in Millington volleyball history.
No, like in my 4 years.
Okay, your 4 years. Okay.
No.
I was saying.
So that's a while.
I'm not going to say much, but the Millington girls basketball team has only beaten them once in 45 years.
But no, that was probably my favorite memory because we went into it, and it's hard to play at Frankenmuth too.
Yes.
Just because like it's such a big gym and their fans are so loud and it's intimidating. But to win at Frankenmuth and to beat Frankenmuth itself, it was amazing. It was so thrilling.
Excellent. Aspirations after school?
To be honest, not quite sure. Hope college. Don't know where. Probably for nursing or PTA. But yeah, that's about where I'm at right now.
Are you looking to play at the next level, or?
Yes and no. There's still a couple of things that I had to straighten out and think about. So, yeah.
Good.
But
Good.
Do you have a pregame routine that you go through before, like, your game nights? I mean, is there something that you do on a regular basis?
Usually if it's an away game, it's take a nap on the bus. Not gonna lie, I put my feet in the aisle and my head's down on the seat and I'm out. Before games, not really. It's just like I get really slap happy, I would say. So it's just like goofy, silly before I have to get all serious and like in the zone just to get like those jitters out. That's about it. Nothing too special.
Now, I know from following Facebook that your AAU team has played pretty much all over.
Yes.
Where has been your favorite place to play so far?
My favorite
Countrywide,
place?
yes.
I mean, Nationals was a ton of fun just because, like, I mean, we drove to Florida and, like, there's some interesting moments in the van, whether it be, like, we're all trying to sleep and, like, the lights are just coming on and off whenever we hit a bump. But probably down at Nationals, I would have to say, because there's just so many teams. It's insane.
Where was that at?
Florida.
Where at in Florida?
The Orange County Convention Center.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's so big, and it's just so much fun. And we were also at the ESPN Worldwide of Sports. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
So, what are your prospects looking at for Tuesday? What do you think?
Like USA?
Yeah, victory?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We got to go in with confidence.
There wasn't even a hesitation. What do you think?
I know.
Come
That's
on.
it. You're the one wearing USA colors, so.
Oh man.
Oh, ouch. Ouch.
He's the enemy.
Yes, he is.
Don't put me in the middle of you two right now.
You're
All right?
cheating on Kingston again.
Although he wants to move to New Lothrop. And,
Oh no.
I know. Yeah, he does.
awful.
Here we go.
Exactly. So
I will
yes,
stop you.
go
I'm going to stop you right there because Scott did bring up several times last night
Yes, he did.
on
Yes,
air
awesome.
about how the Millington Volleyball Team beat the New Lothrop squad several times in the press box. And let me tell you how close we were to people, okay? Very, very close. So we got looked several times.
I made it clear that you guys are going to
Exactly.
be in the building this morning
Yes.
and that you guys had beat New Lothrop to get the district title.
Yes.
So I made it clear. To
they
everybody there.
announced the New Lothrop Cass City football game last night.
Yeah,
So
Well,
I
thank
was
you.
yeah, no problem. I was gonna say we still couldn't make. They were super nice people.
Mhm.
We couldn't even make them hate us for that. They just looked at us, and that was but it's not even a dirty look. They're like, oh yeah, they did beat them.
Yeah,
Congratulations. It's like
exactly.
man, can't make you guys mad for anything.
Anything else?
Go Cards.
Go Cards.
There you
Grace,
go.
come on up. How you doing, Grace?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So first question. Okay, you come from a couple parents who like volleyball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very much so.
And actually, your mother was the coach last time Millington won
Yes.
a district title. So just sort of take the piggy off your back there and say, hey, Mom, I can do it too.
Yeah. Now me, my father, and my mother all have our names in that trophy case.
Mhm.
So it's pretty exciting.
Pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah. Yep. And, I played football, basketball with your dad, and he's one heck of an athlete and all-state track player. And your mom played college volleyball where? I forget.
In
Mott. Yep, that's right. And then your dad ran track at Central. And so what is you always seem to be the excited one on the floor. The I want to say middle linebacker football person who's, growling at the teeth, snot coming out of the nose.
That's very intimidating on a volleyball court. Not gonna lie.
Really paint a picture.
You'd like to pound somebody, but is that sort of your role on the team?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I think I set the tempo emotionally. Once I get out there and I start talking, everything kind of comes together. So
Mhm.
I feel like I take on the role of setting the tempo when it comes to just the moral of
Mhm.
the team. So
Good. Chris, you got anything?
I'm still trying to figure out like the snot and the foam coming out of the mouth.
Well, you should. Hey,
That was-
you should
that
watch
was
her
pretty
play. You should
descriptive.
watch
I
her
was gonna
play.
say it.
You should watch her play. I mean, she's got
you got to
she's
be
mean.
on that court, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's
That's
mean
my
on the
family
court.
out
Yeah,
there, and I'm not
exactly.
letting anyone touch them.
I'm gonna go to that game against USA now. I'm gonna get that snot-filled
We're taking
picture,
pictures.
and
We're
it's gonna
taking
go on the
pictures.
Twitter. It's gonna go on our
Like
Twitter.
that.
So
Exactly. So your favorite memory of the season so far?
Definitely getting the last block and ending that game and taking the trophy.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was outstanding, and I had to do it for my grandpa. He passed away my freshman year. Biggest supporter, and I just knew that, we had lost at our last tournament, and I was telling myself, I'm bringing home that wooden mitten with my team for him, and we did it, and I'm just so proud of the team.
And this is now your third year at varsity.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. What has been your biggest growth area over the last 3 years?
Most definitely my blocking. I still get caught in the net here and there, but I've noticed a lot more consistency with myself,
Mhm.
and I don't know. I just feel more aggressive out there. I just feel like I need to protect the team.
And then what are your aspirations after school?
I plan to attend Northwood University to get my MBA
Mhm.
and something in human resources. I'm not sure
Awesome.
yet. So.
Any looks of maybe playing after school at all anywhere, or just?
Yes, I plan on doing one more year of club and then, seeing my options
Mhm.
for college. But
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
All right.
I got a question for you real quick. I ask a lot of teams that come in here, and obviously you don't have a full team here, but what is one of the nicknames obviously that go around? Who has the best nickname on the team?
Caitlin, because her initials are K and then her last name is Ill, so it's Kill.
Kill.
We just
There
call
you
her
go.
Kill. And
Kill, just like that.
Awesome.
It
Yes.
fits, so most definitely.
It does. It fits absolutely.
I like it.
Yeah.
yeah, that for sure. I like that one.
Yes, that's perfect. Anything else?
Go Cards.
Oh, congrats. Come on up, Aaron. How are you today?
I'm good.
you.
Outstanding.
Great.
So how has your year gone personally for you?
My year has been pretty good so far. I've been really excited to play with these girls again just because we're all so close and we have such a good bond. I've been really excited to get back out on the court with them after playing club, and it just feels really amazing to get all these wins and stuff because I've always known that we've had the talent and we've had the capability to do the things that we've been doing, but to actually go out and achieve them, it's been a really good feeling.
So what was that, I save this question for you, what was that last bonding thing this year? What was that glue to say, hey, we got to get this together? What did it for you guys?
I think SVSU camp. We attended a camp at SVSU over the summer, and it just kind of made me realize that, when we were doing the tournament play and we were beating everyone and we were just having a really good time out on the court. It wasn't even just about winning. It was just about that we were having a good time, and we were all just, I don't know, we were just on this high, I guess. Like, we were just having such a good time, and we knew that we could do it, and we were just really looking forward to the rest of the season. So.
Outstanding. So your favorite moment in the season?
My favorite moment in the season would have to be, like they said, beating Frankenmuth. I was bawling my eyes out after that game. It meant so much to me just for so many reasons. But I told Coach, I gave her a hug. I said, thank you for being the best coach I've ever had, and I never thought that this would happen in my entire life. I was just bawling, makeup everywhere, but it was such a good feeling, and I will never forget that day.
What was your most disappointing point of the season?
I hate thinking about this. Losing to Bertrand in the TVC East game. I think about that game every single day since it happened. I didn't go to school the next day. I woke up and I felt like I was going to throw up. I just had this feeling in my stomach because I knew that we could do it. I knew that we had the capability, but Bertrand is a really good team. And I think we were just having, a little bit of a slow night, but I know that we could have done it. Yeah, that would have to be the most disappointing moment of the season for me.
Is that the only game you guys went 5 sets this year?
We did go to 5 with Frankenmuth.
Oh, did you? Okay, that's right.
Yes,
That's right.
yes.
I remember that now. Yes.
Did we go to 5 with anyone else? I don't think so. I think it was just Bertrand and Frankenmuth. Yeah.
Okay. How about after school gets done, after volleyball gets done? What are your aspirations?
I plan to attend Delta and then transfer to Northwood University to study business. Nothing too planned out yet, nothing set in stone, but I do want to study business and get an MBA.
Good, because that's about the way to go. Say the bachelor's degrees don't work very much anymore. You need the next level.
Yeah,
no wonder I'm here. Exactly. That's what happened, huh?
That's why we're here.
One question, or probably a couple questions, because it's going to lead into a couple.
All right.
Who's the most laid-back girl on the team?
Laid back. I would have to say Kate Cooper, Addie's little sister. She's a sophomore. She gets out there and she gets the job done. And, she gets excited after plays and stuff. But when we're at practice and, when we're all getting hype and stuff, she's just like, yeah, okay. Like, we got this. She doesn't talk much, But when you get to know her, she's definitely loud and she's really fun. But she's just so laid back and so easy to get along with.
So we talked to the Kingston Cardinal girls last week, and one of the questions that popped up, because I'm that type of person that, you see these girls around the area and, the girls are all dressed up nice and pretty. You hit the volleyball court and good Lord, they can bring it, okay? And there's no doubt about that. Who can spike the ball the hardest on the team?
On our team?
On your team. On
Caitlin
your team.
Or Grace. Yeah, both of them. They just continue to amaze me. Being on a team with Caitlin and Grace is just like, Coach tells you to cover and stuff, but at some point it's like, is there even a point? Because she's just gonna get up there and smash it down their throats.
Now, when she says cover, does she mean take cover, or does she
bombs away?
Yeah, exactly, right.
And it looks like too when Caitlin plays, it's like that long drawn out going, oh my God, I'm gonna get my butt whooped here, and then Grace jumps out of nowhere. You don't even know what's coming.
Yeah, absolutely. They just continue to impress me. Caitlin goes up on her approach, take this big swing back, and you're like, oh gosh. you stand there, you put your arms out, and you hope for the best, literally.
What's who is the most outgoing on the team?
My teammates are telling me it's me. So
Okay, you go. It's me.
I was going to say Grace or my best friend Talia, who is not here today. But yeah, before the games and stuff, my pregame, I guess you'd say ritual, is just blasting music through a speaker and dancing my butt off in the locker room.
There's a dance when nobody's watching, right?
Or when everyone's watching.
Or when everyone's watching, either way.
Doesn't care.
Doesn't matter.
Does not matter.
Exactly. Ends up on YouTube somehow. Or
Right.
Instagram.
Oh, gosh.
So what is your guys' hashtag? Because we know USA is good.
Mhm.
Is their hashtag? Is yours just hashtag go cards?
Go cards, yep.
Okay, so
Yeah.
battle of the hashtags
Mhm.
coming up.
There we go.
This week, we'll see which one.
Really, their hashtag is good?
USA is good. You never heard them
Oh,
shout
USA
that?
is good.
USA is
Okay,
good.
I thought it was
USA.
just- I
no,
thought it was just good.
no, there's
I'm
more
like,
to
I
it.
thought that's what he was saying, too. I'm like, I don't get it.
No. Their hashtag is USA is good.
Yes.
Not yeah.
Hey, Coach, we can't go off. We can't go off air. Go to a break before you come over here and tell some people hello. You said you were going to tell some people hello.
Oh, yes.
So you have to
Sure.
come over here. You have to
15
come over here.
seconds of fame.
There you go. You have to tell them because
Or
you said
unless
you were
you're
going
bald.
to.
Okay,
Every
I
week.
hope you're listening, Grandma and Grandpa Warner and Ubley. And I'm sure that my cousin Billy is listening in Elkton. So hello, good morning. And I know there's more of you listening, but
Ladies, you guys got anybody that you want to give a shout out to? Yes.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
I know she's listening
Perfect.
right now. Love you.
Hi, Mom. How are you? And hi to my boyfriend's mom, too. So.
Aw.
Hey, Mom, it's Bug. I'm on the radio.
Good.
Yeah, because Annie just has to step out in the hallway.
She's like, I'm going to step outside.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much, ladies,
Hey,
for
good,
coming in.
hey, good luck, ladies.
Thank you
good
for
luck.
having
Yeah,
us.
absolutely.
Thank
Thank
For
you.
sure.
Yep.
And we'll take a break right now. Come back, cover some high school football from last night. Hunter, if you want to jump back on, man, you can definitely give your
Yes.
take on some stuff, but we'll take that break. Christian,
Yep.
we'll get okay.
Yep.
All right, and we'll come back and we got to crown our latest Grazzle Graphics Athletes of the Week. Stick around. Let's talk sports.
The Arrowhead Golf and Grill in Carroll keep bringing you the best in food and fun around the area. Come out Saturday, November 3rd at 8 p.m. for their onesie and flannel party. Enjoy your evening, and you don't even have to get dressed up for it. They'll have karaoke and Busch Light swag along with Busch and Busch Light $1.50 cans all night. And as always, don't forget their Friday fish fry with perch and cod along with full menu and bar. Check their website and Facebook for more specials. The Arrowhead Golf and Grill, located at 1201 Gun Club Road in Carroll. Call 989-673-2017.
Do you have sales experience but no room for growth? Help us help you. Mike Young Buick GMC in Frankenmuth is looking for a talented and outgoing sales representative to join our sales team. We offer aggressive pay with huge earning potential, benefits, paid vacation, and full training and support. So if you have sales experience and want to be a part of our future growth, then be sure to send your resume to office@mikeyoung.com.
Are you looking for good prices and service from your propane supplier? Well, now's the time to get ready for the upcoming heating season. So contact Marlette Oil and Gas for the best deal on pre-season propane for your home, farm, or business. Marlette Oil and Gas is dedicated to great service with the most competitive prices around. Not only does Marlette Oil and Gas offer keep full plans, fuel oil, and farm diesel, they also sell tires and service your vehicles too. Marlette Oil and Gas, serving the thumb since 1920. Call 989-635-7559.
Weather brought to you by Thumb Cooling and Heating, with stores in Cass City and Carroll. If you need it cold or need it hot, give Thumb Cooling and Heating a shot. I-92 weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the Thumb's Classic Rock I92 weatherology forecast. A blend of clouds and sun today with highs around 44. Winds out of the northwest 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy again tonight, lows around 32. Chance for scattered showers tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 49, cloudy. 52 Monday with a chance for scattered showers. 58 Tuesday, chance for showers continues. And that's the Thumb's Classic Rock I92 weather forecast. I'm weatherology meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 40.
Let's get back to the only complete high school sports talk show in the Thumb. On FM, baby. Let's talk sports.
11:16. Yes, we're going overtime because we don't care.
No, we do not.
The commercials are getting played. That's all that matters. Speaking of OT, you want to jump right into that game? Actually, no. Let's go to Christian's game. This could take a little while. No, I'm just kidding. Do you want to get into it, or do you want to?
Yeah, I mean, it was. Millington's missing their best player, Jack Shreve, last night. And, just even before we get into the game, after watching the game and watching Jack Shreve not play last night, made me believe that I think Jack Shreve, at least in my opinion, should be the Thumb Player of the Year, 11-man football.
It's been brought up.
Without a doubt. Just because, there had been times this year, I'm like, man, that offensive line looks pretty good together. They struggled without Jack. Let's put it that way. Jack was the glue for that team, both offensively and defensively. I have no doubt in my mind that if Millington does have Jack last night, it is a completely different ball game. Maybe a little bit of the type of shootout that we saw in Ithaca the week before. But without him, Millington just didn't have it.
Yeah, that's a huge hit. Obviously, looking at his stats, not only is he a leader on the offensive side, but defensive side, as you said, he's the heart of that on both sides. I mean, it's tough when you tear that type of player away from a squad. You lose a huge.
He comes down that line so nice as a defensive end that he really makes up for mistakes that are made by defensive linemen and stuff like that. So it's too bad for him. I feel bad for him the way that it all turned out, that he wasn't able to play. But, mistakes were made. And sometimes, even if you don't say bad things, you should probably just keep your mouth shut too. So.
Yeah. Been having to bite my tongue. Obviously, we know what happened with us being denied.
Yes.
Spot in Montrose, but I had to be civil about it. I'm like, oh, no problem. Don't worry about it. Thanks.
Yep.
And moved on to the next one. But we won't get into that on the air. But and sometimes you just have to bite your tongue.
Yes. Unfortunately, up in Ithaca, and if everyone doesn't know yet, it's on them live, and, he was received 2 unsportsmanlike penalties up in Ithaca, and which means an automatic ejection, just like a couple technicals in basketball. And if you receive an ejection, then that means you have to miss the next game. Millington tried to appeal, had an official that went with them, but the MHSA doesn't appeal those. They've made that quite clear over the years.
Not the NFL.
And I think the main reason is if they start appealing those, they're going to open up Pandora's box of where people just try to take advantage of it. So, it sucks. It really does, because I really threw a wrench in things. But, Jack never, I to clear some things up, he never swore.
Nope.
For either of those unsportsmanlike penalties. The one penalty he received, it wasn't for a taunting. He walked by an opponent, that the referee said, but he's directed at one of our players, one of Millington players, and says, "How do you like that hit?"
Yeah.
Now, I've heard a lot worse things on the football field, and Hunter, I know you probably have. And, and then his second unsportsmanlike penalty was, he unfortunately called, not up on top of someone taunting, walked by another player and called him a loser.
A loser. Which was popular, in the 90s as an insult?
Yes. So, once again, it wasn't a loser. It was just loser,
Yeah.
And the referee was very specific about what he said on his card when doing the state. Are they tic-tacky fouls against Millington's best player? Yep, they sure were. The second one he received at 45 seconds left of the game, should he have been in the game? Probably not. There's just a bunch of blame to go around, but unfortunately, that's the cards we were dealt this time. I mean, it really sucks. It's a learning experience, hopefully for a bunch of people in the area, because I know not everyone from Millington will agree with me on this. There's a lot of people in Millington that they have this preconceived notion that the referees are always out to get us for some reason. I don't think so. I've seen enough games around the thumb where officials have struggled. Guess what? They have other jobs as well.
Yeah.
They're getting paid. They don't go through training. They may do some games here and there, watch some things, read a rule book. But a lot of them don't do any training. They're just there. We just got to live with it. Are some of them having a bad day and might do this stuff? Yeah. So, that's why I make sure I always preach to my teams, one thing we got to do, we got to play over whatever we get from an official. And number two, do not give them any excuse to make a call against you.
Well, and that was kind of one of the things, we want to try to bring Hunter in today because obviously the lack of the officials. And, officials get a lot of abuse out there. They really do, right? Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things. You're right, Christian. They have other jobs. They're not just strictly an official.
Yeah, right.
They have other jobs that they do. And it's just like anything else. Everybody's human. Mistakes are going to be made at certain levels, and to what degree as a team do you respond to certain mistakes that somebody else unfortunately has made? Mm-hmm. And I have seen in a case where an official has been able to change a game or take over a game? Yes. But to a full aspect all the time, no. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen that happen. And, that's one of the things is, I love it when, parents and like to complain or fans in the stands want to complain about an official. And it's like, well, why don't you step down there and then you make the call in that split-second action? Because there is no replay, and that's a big thing as well, not being able to, quote, be in the NFL or MLB where everything's perfect, or being able to go back and take a look at it during the in-game is a little bit different at the high school level. So,
and then, then unfortunately last night, Millington's linebacker, Trevor Sherman, number 55, who's probably their second best defensive player. He gets 2 targeting calls, and I don't think they really call it targeting in high school. It was helmet-to-helmet calls. Mm-hmm. Both calls, if you watch them, I watched them live, and I saw them on replay. He sort of just ran into the running back, and they met face mask to face mask. It really wasn't. I got my head down targeting. Didn't really hit the person hard. I literally just, like if you and I ran into each other, hit noses. And got flags for those. Unfortunately, on the second one that happened, Coach Dantine got upset, got 1 flag, was starting to talk to somebody on the headset. The official thought that they were talking about her. He's talking to somebody on the headset. She threw another flag. And now he got ejected in that game. So
there's a story in M Live that it really does a good job of basically telling that story right there. Brendan Savage, I think, wrote it out of Flint. Journal, so if you jump on M Live, I know there's a story on there. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely been a rough couple weeks.
Yes.
Well, at least they got the win over Ithaca. That was a big win.
Over Ithaca. That was huge.
But last night obviously was a rough night for the Millington Cardinals.
Kind of. You want to say you still have a chance, but. Take nothing away from Montrose. Montrose is a good squad.
Yeah.
Quarterback is very good with the ball, scrambled well. Their running back was very good. They played a tough, hard-nosed defensive type of ball. It's your normal Montrose type squad. Would they have beaten Ithaca? I don't think so. But I didn't think we were going to either going in. Right. But look what we did. Right. So, the best thing that comes out of the season is, Millington's now made the playoffs 15 straight times, 30 consecutive years with a winning record. Before the season started, if you would have asked me to put a gun to my head and say, hey, what's Millington going to finish? 4-5, maybe 5-4. Losing 4 All-Staters hurts, but Jack Sharif stepped up, had one heck of a year, and kept this Millington team rolling. They finished 7-4, so that's off to
bad. Yeah, exactly. We talked about it kind of going into the last 3 weeks of the regular season. We said Millington might limp into the playoffs, but they were able to get that win in week number 9 against Warren Michigan Collegiate. Help propel them into the playoffs, a guaranteed spot, and then go into Ithaca and do what not a lot of teams have been able to do.
Yes.
And that's drop 50 points on Ithaca, and 2, beat Ithaca in Ithaca and knock them out before a district championship even comes around. So, that's huge for Millington as well. So, a successful season. Obviously, probably would have wanted a little bit more. A district championship would have been nice and move on to regional, but still a good season nonetheless.
Yeah,
for
good
Millington.
Successful season at that. I got a real quick question. I'm going to ask this to Hunter, just kind of as a player and an official. Christian was talking about the targeting or head to head. How would you see that as a player? Okay, if you hit face mask to face mask, would you consider that a head to head, or would you consider that maybe a targeting? I mean, however you want to take that. I mean, is that, as a player, would you consider that or no?
I mean, it's going to happen in football, obviously, but, I mean, if it was intentional, maybe, like, if somebody's on the ground and somebody came in and dove and hit them in the face mask, I mean, maybe that's a flag, but, like, if it's just two guys meeting and it ends up being face mask to face mask, I don't know if there's a problem with that.
Would you see it any differently as an official on the field?
Probably, because you're looking more for that. You know, at a player, ooh, nice hit. And an official's like, ooh, I don't know, that might be you can't do that.
Right. And like I stated, I mean, it's kind of a split-second decision too.
Right,
I mean, you're pulling a flag to throw it because you thought that there was a foul that occurred on that play.
Right, and you have to throw it right away because if you don't, then it looks like you didn't know what you're like hesitating.
Right. So I was gonna say, you either you throw it, you're gonna get yelled at for throwing it.
Mm-hmm.
You wait to throw it. Okay, let me process this, and then they're gonna be like, oh, late flag.
Yep.
So I mean, there's really you can't win either way. It seems like.
Has there been any? And obviously you've done a majority of youth games. I mean, has there been times where you've tossed a flag in football and just kind of like waved it off afterwards? Yet?
No, not yet. Because usually if you throw it, I mean, just gotta stick with it, and then even if you know it's the wrong call, you just gotta act like you just gotta be confident with it and act like.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Not the NFL.
Yeah,
It's very true.
Stands by what he does. So
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely awesome. But no, I mean, still a good season for Millington. Rough night last night, but making it to another district championship and taking on that Montrose squad who has been a thorn in the side. A couple of years ago, I had to see them at Millington win. I was saying to Chris on the way to New Lothrop, I said it's weird not just setting up shop over in Millington and just sitting there throughout the regionals.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yes.
I think that's back-to-back years we got to do that.
Yes.
Last year and then the year before that, I think, right?
Yep.
So it was nice.
Yes,
but,
it was.
Hopefully, maybe next year get back to that. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll,
We got some decent classes coming up, and we'll see. You know, the freshman and sophomore classes are pretty good, and we're kind of excited, you know, in town to get them together. So.
All right. And now Montrose moving on to take on.
I think E-Course
of
Hamady.
That's right. They play later
today,
on this
yes.
afternoon. So there you go. We'll jump on over to D8 last night in a triple overtime game as Harbor Beach able to stop Ubley on the 2-point conversion and walk off with a win 28-26. We're going to go to our friends over at WLEW right now. Well, not live, but a play from last night. This is Clark Ramsey on the call.
Same formation all night long. Hand off to Ethan Lemke at the 1-yard line, and they are stopped! Harbor Beach wins! Ethan Lemke stopped at the 1-yard line by number 16, Nathan Seaman. Harbor Beach wins. The Pirates in triple overtime take out the Ubley Bearcats in the ultimate backyard brawl.
Talk about the ultimate backyard brawl, that's for sure, as that's a heck of a stop there for Harbor Beach. Triple overtime, we listened to it, went back and forth, and I commented on Mike Gallagher's post last night on Twitter. I said, we might be home and in bed from New Lothrop before this game gets over with. It was a heck of a slugfest between those two squads, and it sounds like it was just another fun battle between Ubley and Harbor Beach, which they've had some really good battles in the past. And Clark called the backyard brawl, and that's for sure. I'm sure there's family lines between those two and friends, and I know that they don't like each other, but I'm sure that they there's some friendship between those two.
Oh, there's friendship. You gotta entrust that there's some. You know, it's kind of like the Millington Frankamoos, Millington Garbers. There's friendships there, right, Christian?
Well, you pushed it with Garber.
Okay,
I
I pushed
think.
it with Garber.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah, exactly.
I
was on board till you said Garber.
Oh, okay. That threw in the powder blue. that did it. But yeah, no, heck of a game out of the Harbor Beach Pirates and Ubley Bearcats last night. I mean, taking anything to triple overtime, let alone overtime, obviously tells you what's on the line that late in the season.
And now they go on to take on a Flint Beecher squad, and I think Harbor Beach gets home again. I think they have enough playoff points where they can sit at home all the way up.
I think so.
So
I think you're right.
That's huge for them as well, as they get to sit back at home. And it's hard to go into Harbor Beach, win games, especially with that the wind up there, and what if it's coming off the water? Just add some snow possibly. I don't know if that's going to happen next week, but
Harbor Beach definitely has home field advantage, as Flint Beecher only has 49 points.
You know, in Beecher, we were talking about it before we went on the air, is they don't have like huge wins, but their losses were to Flint Hamady, E-Course, and there was one more in there. I'm trying to think of the third one. They lost the third one, and I can't remember who it is off the top of my head. Christian and I were talking about it before. Hamady, E-Course, and Byron.
Byron
was their third.
Yes.
So, good losses to good teams. and teams that are in D7. So now that they're going to try to go back at it and knock off Harbor Beach, and a team that you usually hear about in basketball, but not in football, with the Flint Beecher Bucks. So we'll see what they can do against Harbor Beach next week. And I have to imagine that's going to be a Saturday afternoon game. When you start getting to regionals like this, you usually
I would think
start
so.
getting
Yes.
used to that. Division 5, Region 3, District 2, Frankenmuth coming back from the dead late in the game as they knock off Elmont for the second straight year. BWAG coming in undefeated with Elmont, and that was probably their best chance because they have they have North Branch left, but I think Elmont might have been their best chance to possibly pick up at least a run. But Frankenmuth flexing their muscle once again and stomping Elmont in their tracks as they knock off the Raiders 28-22 with a sophomore quarterback.
Yeah, they're growing them over there, I guess. Replacing whatever you want to say. I don't know. It might be even a beat field over there where you just plant them, you let them grow, and then you just pull them up when they're ready. I have no idea, but yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, having a sophomore quarterback stepping up like that in a big game scenario, especially against a undefeated Elmont squad, huge for the Frankenmuth Eagles.
Is his name Davin Reef?
Yes.
Davin Reef?
Yes.
And he only rushed for 92 yards last night, and Alex Aglia was the leading rusher with 168 yards. But Reef, probably the most important play of the game, as he was able to rush it in from 6 yards out. The point after attempt got them out 28-22, and Elmont tried to do one last drive, but Joby Ostrowski sealed the deal with an INT, and their consecutive district championship for Frankenmuth Eagles, as showing that Tri-Valley East power against the BWAC there.
I said it.
Yeah, you did say it.
You did say it, absolutely.
Last night.
Unfortunately, Bertrand lost, but
what's that?
Unfortunately, Bertrand lost.
Oh yeah, that's
the week
right.
Before, but
Elmont's a pretty tough squad, but nonetheless, Frankenmuth taking care of business and now moving on. I don't know who they play next off the top of my head.
Who's that? Frankenmuth?
Frankenmuth.
Reed City.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes, they have to travel there too.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
they do.
Yeah, so that should be interesting to see. But that is our 11-player. We'll jump over to 8-player real quick. A couple out of area scores. Pickford knocking off Sutton's Bay 48-42 in a big win last night for Pickford. Elsewhere, we had Cedarville knocking off Posen in a big way 44-0. Onekama over Brethren 52-0. Rapid River over Crystal Falls Forest Park 40-34. I got a couple games coming up today, and I'm going to say that we picked these in the paper. Hunter, I'm going to throw you under the bus here. Deckerville, All Gray Sims, who are you going to pick? You know much about All Gray Sims?
I don't really know much. I know they're 9-0, and I've seen they've been beating teams pretty good. So I don't know if the teams they've played aren't the greatest or if they're really that good. But I gotta say, if it's going to be a close game, I got Deckerville winning it. But if All Grays is really as good as everybody says they are, then I got All Grays winning it.
Yeah, I took All Gray in the paper. We'll see what happens.
I took All Gray as well.
Yeah.
Just because I have to beat Adam, and he picked Deckerville. But I think it's going to be a shootout because I wasn't sure what to think about All Gray, but this quarterback for All Gray seems pretty legit. He has 1,600 yards passing on the season. What was it, Christian? 17.1 yards a pass he had?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, we scrimmaged him this year, and he's pretty good.
Is he?
Yep.
Okay. So we'll see what they can do. That's coming up at 2 o'clock. It is going to be on Thumb Tailgater if you want to check that out, thumbtailgater.com, 1:45 pregame. Eddie didn't ask me to do that game, thank goodness, because I wasn't sure if I was going to want to travel up to All Gray.
Exactly.
But that's going to be a battle. And then if they win, then they got to go up even further north.
Go further north.
As Pickford waiting for the winner of that game. Region 3 is going to be Maurice at Wyoming Tri-Unity Christian. And a game that I'm the only one that took Tri-Unity Christian. I'm surprised. But it is what it is because I think they both played Lawrence, and Tri-Unity Christian beat Lawrence bigger than Maurice did, so that's kind of the weighing point that got me. But everyone else with the Orioles, so we'll see what does come about in that game. Bellevue at Cologne, C-O-L-O-N?
I think it's Cologne.
Cologne?
Yeah.
Did you see what their names are? The Magi? They're apparently Cologne, Michigan. I just discovered this yesterday. Bob and I were looking at it. It is the magic capital
I've
of the
actually
world.
driven through there. It is, yes.
And they have their mascot is a rabbit in a hat.
It's a rabbit in a hat, yes. Yeah.
They have a magic festival.
It's actually, I believe it's on their water tower as well.
So what is their team name?
The Magi. It's like short. It's something to do with magic.
Wow, you'd think it was right out of the Bible if they're the Magi.
I think that's what. Yeah,
wow.
Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic. There's that. That's apparently a manga series. Magi. Yeah, it's something to do with magic.
Wild. I never knew that.
Yeah, they are the Cologne Magi, and they're apparently the magic capital of the world. The world.
The world, yeah.
So,
I drove through there one time going down to Coldwater, and I'm driving through this town, and I go past their baseball, softball fields, and I'm like, where am I at right now? And I look over, and there's like a rabbit in a hat, and I'm like, well, this is odd. And then you pull up, and it's actually got a sign that says the magic capital of the world. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Because I was like, what is that? And I looked it up, and there's a rabbit in a hat. So.
Interesting.
Kind of cool. They're going to be taking on Bellevue, though, this afternoon at 1 o'clock. And Teconcha taking on Portland St. Patrick at Portland, both 6-4 squads battling it out at 1 o'clock. So there you go. And I think that is it. Oh, real quick. Carroll did capture the team championship, their first team championship in cross country since 1980. They scored 61 points. Pewamo Westphalia was second with 100 points. And the updates I was getting on their site were all messed up because the top five, or the five big for cross country, did finish in the top 30. Yami finished first, Caleb Cotton 8th, Logan Brown 11th, Bryden Miller 19th, and Aaron Holbert finished 22nd. Kevin Wilson 28th, and Cole Moen 74th.
Wow,
so
that's huge.
Yeah, I mean, 6 of your 7 runners there in the top 30, and I think. Yeah, that's big for them, as Carroll bringing home that. Yami bringing home his 3rd straight, which we have the video. Trevin Phillips must have been down there. Hopefully he didn't swear, because I just retweeted it without listening to it, but we know he does have some
Trevin Phillips, mouth of the South?
Vocabulary words that wouldn't be acceptable on our Twitter. But he did, right at the finish line, he had a picture or a video of Yami crossing the finish line. And
that's cool.
So that's on our Twitter page at Let's Talk Sports 3. So, got anything else, guys?
No, I think that's it. Oh, real quick. I told Hunter I wasn't going to talk about this on air, but I'm going to. Sorry, Hunter. I'm throwing you back under the bus again. I hope you don't mind.
He's going to be blowing up. His phone is going to be blowing up when
I know he's going to be. Are you kidding me? That's what they're going to be saying. North Branch St. Clair, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Obviously, we know you went to North Branch for a little bit. You did play, I believe, at the youth level with Christian Coy and Jared Rutledge and those guys over there. Kind of give me a perspective on the team. Obviously, at the youth level, it's changed a little bit over the course of the season. New head coach over there. What do you think the chances are with St. Clair?
I don't really know a whole lot. Don't really know a whole lot about St. Clair, but I know the North Branch team's been doing really good this year. They've been on a roll. It's just been cool listening, hearing about them, because I know most of those guys on that team and remember playing with them. So it's just been cool listening to them and how they've got better from the years past.
That's awesome. And Christian, you brought up a good thing when you were talking to the girls here in studio, and I don't think I've ever done this with any of the teams that I've brought in from the Kingston side of things. So I'm going to ask Hunter Wise while you're here, what are your aspirations after high school? I mean, do you got anything planned right now, or?
I think I'm gonna do something in the electrical field. I don't know if I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go to college, be an electrical engineer. If not, gonna be try to be an electrician.
There you go. All right, cool.
Yep. Do you know where you're going?
Not sure yet.
You can say Delta. That's okay.
All right, maybe
Pioneer
Delta.
Pride. Yeah, that's right.
He's like Delta. That's fine. I'll say Delta if you want me to.
Just
say
to make
Delta.
Scott happy.
Yeah, right.
All right, we're gonna jump on over here and crown our latest Graphics Athlete of the Week. Your
Sweet.
Freak Nasty Athlete of the Week.
The Freak Nasty Player of the Week.
I'm much happier now that we can hear the music in the background.
Right.
Because last week I went home and watched this. All I heard was me singing. Oh. I cannot sing.
Oh man, yeah. I'm sure I didn't even watch that, but you isolated out. That's definitely interesting. But
darn right.
I'll let Christian introduce the female because she already knows who she is.
Yes, she is.
She was just in here.
She was just in here. Senior co-captain of the Millington Volleyball squad and niece of head coach Michelle Bach. Addie Cooper, congratulations. You're our female Grazzle Graphics Athlete of the Week.
What did she? What was the record she broke? You said
the single season assist record.
Very cool. Very very cool.
Congratulations
to her. Yeah. And digging around in here, and we decided to go with Devin Reef of Frankenmuth, the sophomore quarterback coming in for the injured Connor Campbell and taking over things. And like I said, didn't have the gaudy numbers, 92 yards rushing, but hey, that game clinching touchdown is
gaudy
is
enough.
huge. Yeah, it's big enough. As gutsy performance there by the young man as he is able to get that 6-yard touchdown. Point after attempt was good to make it 28-22, and the Eagles now move on. And it's going to be an interesting game as they move on to regional championships. Again, time will be announced on that. And they're taking on, what did we say they're taking on?
Reed City.
No. No.
Frankenmuth?
Portland.
Oh, they're Portland. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. I knew it was Portland.
I knew Reed City
I
too.
announced it yesterday. No, Reed City is Midland. I thought it was Midland Dow. I thought they were taking on Reed City.
Okay.
Maybe. We were listening to it yesterday, and they were talking about Reed City, and I thought, I'm pretty sure it's Portland. That's what I've been reading everywhere. And so the Frankenmuth thing just said right here, they'll travel to Portland next week for a regional championship. So,
all right. Well,
good luck to the Eagles, nonetheless, no matter who they play. So, good luck to the Eagles as well today. Deckerville Eagles can take it on Augrey and the Wolverines. Speaking of the Wolverines, they're going to be right here, 2:30, pregame right here. Wolverines taking on the Penn State Nittany Lions, and I know what's up.
It was Swan Valley.
Swan Valley's taking on Reed City. That's right.
That's my fault.
No, it's okay. Swan Valley. Now you got me saying it. Penn State taking on Michigan, and I know Coach Cuthrell. I know where his ties lie. He is a Penn State fan, so we know where he is going to be going. Coach Lester, we know where he's going to be going. Dave Lester, no one knows about him. I mean, I think he roots for. He says he roots for both teams, but he's
he's
secretly
root for?
a State fan,
Who is he?
isn't he? He's more of a State fan.
Yeah,
he
I
is.
think
He
he's
is.
more of a State
He
fan.
Yeah,
is.
he can say what he wants. I banned him from Let's Talk Sports due to that State talk a couple weeks ago, but he found his way back in.
I love it.
But Michigan taking on Penn State. Michigan all around, guys?
Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, let's be real. Let's push James Franklin on
I
there.
have Michigan beating Alabama in the national title game.
So Christian's already got it laid out.
Wow. You're thinking way ahead here. Okay.
I just want them to get Notre Dame one more time.
I would like to see
I
that
just
one more
wanted
time.
to slap Alabama.
Michigan State taking on Maryland.
Yes.
Did you guys take State?
Yeah, because that's
What a
just,
mess.
that's just
I'm
a
not taking
mess.
Durkin.
That's just a mess in Maryland.
Durkin Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, what a mess.
Jeez Louise.
It's horrible over there.
Just rough over there. All right, guys. Well, Hunter, thank you for coming on in, man.
Yeah,
and,
thanks for having
thank
me,
you.
If you ever
guys.
want to come back in, let us know. There's always an open seat most of the time.
Sounds
we do
good.
have people come in every now and then, but you can still crash the party anytime you want, man.
Sounds
And Christian, we'll probably be out at a game somewhere next week. Just
yes.
take it in as spectators, which is kind of fun.
Yes,
I mean,
definitely so.
you get to do it most of the time, but you're working most of the time as we're calling the game. So we'll actually get to enjoy the game next week. No matter where you're going out there, enjoy yourself. Plenty of games coming up today. Good luck, North Branch, Deckerville. Who else is playing today? There's one more, isn't there?
Just
North
those
Branch,
two?
Deckerville.
North Branch, Deckerville.
That's it, right?
Yeah,
that's
that's
it
it.
from the area.
Okay,
That's
all
it.
right. Gola, Tri-Unity Christian. Pick that win up for me so I can beat Adam.
Who do you got in A player? Who do you got in A player in that game?
And Tri-Unity and Morris?
Yeah.
I'm going with Morris.
Oh, come on, Hunter. I did like you for a second when you rooted for Michigan, but that changed. All right, we're getting out of here. We're going to go to commercial, come back, more music. It is Classic Rock I92. It's been Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by Air Advantage.
This is Tanya Rubin, sales executive at Thumb Cellular. If you're thinking of switching mobile phone carriers, consider Thumb Cellular. Now is the time to get the tailored service you need from the